Okay. It's recording now?
Yes.
I just didn't see the transcription. Good morning, everyone. We are here for the regular council meeting of June 2nd. We will jump right into things, introductions. We have in person Councillor Jason Bondarchuk.
Morning.
Councillor Jeanine Belanger.
Morning, everyone.
CEO Shane Ray.
Morning.
Councillor Shane Pelletier.
Morning.
Councillor Joel Lemoine.
Morning.
And Dominic Lemoine and the Assistant CEO in the background there.
Morning.
And myself online, Chris Ewan. We will go right into the meeting. Item number 1, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine. Questions before we open the meeting? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. Open the meeting at 9 a.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bondarchuk. We are good with the agenda as is. No changes.
Yep.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. Item 3, any declarations of interest from council? None. Item 4, adoption of the minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine. We have the regular minutes from the regular council meeting of May 20th, 2026. Council has reviewed those minutes. Any changes, edits, or information? None. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. Jumping into delegations, we will go right to 5.1 RCMP Staff Sergeant Poirier, fourth quarter and year-end stats. Take it away, Staff Sergeant.
Good morning. I'll apologize early on for my scratchy voice. I'm still recovering from a super bug last week that laid me out pretty flat. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. Just to go over our priorities from last year. Our 3 priorities were our visibility and our communication in the communities with council and in schools, road safety and crime reduction. My targets were a little hit and miss last year. We did well, but didn't reach all of our targets. So just as an example, we're looking for a school presence, about 120 school visits, documented school visits. We came up with about 85. And I say documented because one of my constant reminders is if you don't write down what you did, you didn't do it. So I know people are going into the schools, they come back, they get busy, they don't document anything. I know it's been done, but I can't track it. So I thought we would hit 120 fairly easily. I just can't document it. So it's going to remain on our priority list for next year or this current year now. Road safety was one where we're dealing with alcohol-related offenses. A lot of that is either impairs or what we call IRPs, and that's basically a roadside suspension. It's a provincial version of doing a criminal code impaired. It really had set no target because I didn't know what the efforts were really like with a new group of members, but we ended up with 77 charges throughout last year. One of my goals wasn't so much the number of 77, was to make sure every officer was participating in the program. I could probably survive on the backs of 2 or 3 officers that are doing a ton of work for me, but I want all 14 to be doing some work. It's part of a mentoring and a teaching component, making sure all of our guys know the basics of their jobs and what their responsibilities are. We were trying to see that from a traffic enforcement perspective. There's a little bit of work to do with transfers in, transfers out, new young members, and realizing what their responsibilities are every day, going into the school, stopping cars, and so on. So we're looking to see that everybody's participating. Our crime reduction are pretty well sticking with curfew checks, trying to find repeat offenders, guys that have been caught and are now on conditions. I tend to see it in the jump in our stats of criminal codes where we see a lot of fail to complies and breaches. That's good news because it's us knocking on doors and actually finding the breaches. I had set a goal of 150 breaches, or sorry, not breaches, but knocking on doors. We ended up with about 101. So we're a little shy where I thought we should be. So all three of these priorities are going to remain for next year. So usually what I do is I put out an email to the CAOs asking for council's priorities. I am not doing that this year. I'm just rolling over what we've done because I think we still have room for improvement. And so we're going to build on that for this year. So Shane, you won't see an email about priorities for this year. Any questions on what last year looked like?
Council, any questions, comments?
No,
Good
then
here.
I'll just, sorry, go ahead.
Good here.
No, okay. I'll just go into the stats. There's a lot of stats when we wrap up Q4 and we do the annual reporting. I'm only going to touch on some of the things I saw for trends. If I don't speak about your area or some of the stats that you have a question about, please ask because I'm not going to touch on all of them. On the collision side, Q4 and annual, you saw some minor variations, but no trends. Some places went up a little bit. Sometimes the numbers aren't enough to really consider a trend. So we just saw some minor variations. On the traffic side, which is probably the biggest reporting piece I have, in Q4, you saw an increase in charges in the RM and St. Adolphe. But on the annual report, you saw a substantial decrease in the RM and west of the Red River. Excuse me. I want to bring in our traffic services. I've spoken about this before, but the numbers just keep impressing me. When I look at Q4, traffic services, when you don't see these numbers on the stat sheet I send out, what I send out is our general duty St. Pierre detachment numbers only. So when you take the St. Pierre numbers of 75 charges in Q4, traffic services laid an additional 95 charges. So they accounted for 55% of the traffic enforcement in the Yarn River Shop. Okay. When I look at it annually, St. Pierre detachment laid 117 charges. Traffic services laid 359 on top of that. So a lot of enforcement and visibility that we don't generally pay attention to because it's not a marked police car. It's an unmarked car. They're doing a ton of work for us. My goal is to see the detachment numbers move up by everybody participating in this. So questions or does that make sense to you? What our traffic services is doing for us?
Council?
Yep, no.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. On the impaired side, in Q4 and in annual, you saw a slight increase in the RM and St. Agathe and in Ile-des-Chênes. No big numbers. Provincial stats, your Q4 went down in the RM. No trends, was pretty miscellaneous. It was across the board. But in annual, you saw a decrease in the RM at St. Agathe, and that's mental health, 911, and fire prevention calls. Mental health and 911 usually go hand in hand. When we see increases or decreases, generally see both. Your other criminal code, this is where we come back to our crime reduction strategy. In Q4, you saw an increase in St. Adolphe, and it's all failed to comply. So people are breaching conditions. On the annual side, increase in St. Adolphe and Ile-des-Chênes. Failed to comply was a large component, but also causing a disturbance. So a little bit of partying going on. Our persons crime, in Q4, you saw a decrease in Ile-des-Chênes and Grand Point. In Ile-des-Chênes, it was harassment and uttering threats that went down. In Grand Point, you saw assaults with a weapon and sex assaults went down. On the annual side, in St. Adolphe and St. Agathe, our stats went up. Generally, assaults with a weapon, and sex assaults. On the annual side, you also saw a decrease in Ile-des-Chênes, sex assaults and harassments. Although what kind of skewed the results of that, it did go down overall in Ile-des-Chênes, but the number of assaults themselves went up. So we saw an increase on the assaults, but everything else went down. So it ended up being a negative result in the number of statistics. Last one is property crime in Q4. In the RM, your mischiefs went down. Your thefts went up in St. Adolphe, and thefts went down in St. Agathe. Annually, you saw the RM, your B&Es and your mischiefs went down, but your thefts went up. So the numbers overall might have gone up a little bit, but the specific crimes varied somewhat depending on location. In St. Adolphe, your thefts and your mischiefs went down. In St. Agathe, your thefts and B&Es went down. In Ile-des-Chênes, your mischiefs and B&Es went down, but your thefts went up. So hard to pinpoint a specific group that is targeting areas when the crime varies so much from community to community. So we're not seeing any big trends or groups of individuals affecting us. Pretty random stuff. Anything on statistics?
Council? No.
Okay, lastly, for me, just an update on our HR. FIFA starts June, July. We are sending a couple of bodies out to FIFA in Vancouver, one in June, one in July. They go for about an 8-day stretch. Excuse me. We scheduled it in such a way that our schedule doesn't get affected too much. We can absorb one being gone at a time. What does happen though is if there is any backfilling, it gets costed to another cost center where they pay for the overtime if we have to bring in people to cover. It's not coming out of our budget here. So currently I'm have 5 vacancies. That's as of today. 1 corporal and 4 constables. The corporal position has been identified. We're just waiting for a start date for the individual. We're very happy. I'll be able to share a name probably next time. So on. So that's a good for us. But of the 4 constables, we've identified 3 that will fill those four positions. So we'll end up being short 1 once everybody's in their positions. 1 is a transfer from Swan, and the other 2 are cadets coming out of depot. That we currently have 4 cadets on staff. So we're pretty maxed out for cadets. I got to be able to train them. They're all they 1 cadet eats up 2 positions because I have to have a fully trained member spend 6 months with them. So 4 cadets is probably the max we can take. So in the end, we'll have 1 vacancy on our plate once the last 2 cadets arrive. So we're not doing bad just right now with 5 vacancies, just a little tight. I reached out to the new officer that you've hired for a CSO program. We tried to connect, but I haven't had any luck in meeting with him yet. So the plan is either to come down to the RM or to meet him at one of our police offices in Niverville or St. Pierre if we get a chance to sort of connect with him. Any updates on how the program's rolling?
So far, well, he came back from training about 2 weeks ago, so he's just kind of entering his 2nd week. And so there's some additional training, obviously, around some of the HTA stuff that we need to get him done, some road weight restriction, things like that. So yeah, it's so far in the first couple of weeks going well. We're excited, and I know he's excited to come connect with you as well. So yep. I think you'll be hearing from him today, actually.
Okay, great. I've been away for a bit and stuff, so I haven't been able to catch up on a lot of the emails. But yeah, I sent him one yesterday just to make sure, say, look, I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't been around. So yeah. Okay, that's great to hear. I will offer, if you feel there's a benefit to have him ride along with one of our guys for a half a day or something in the RM, gladly do that as well to just make a connection there.
Yeah, absolutely. We will for sure take you up on that.
Okay. Lastly, for me, just looking for some info. Is council hearing anything about the Willow Lane area?
No.
Nothing's come up from the residents or anything? Okay. I guess enough said that we're paying attention to some call it activities in that area. So if nothing's come to council, that's good to know. If there is anything in that area, please let me know. It might help build on what we're looking at. So
Excellent.
any questions?
Just
Council,
wondering,
anything?
by filling the vacancies, like what is your total staff?
14 constables, 1 sergeant, 1 staff sergeant, and 3 corporals.
Okay, good to know. Thanks.
I just want to make a comment. Thank you. And I don't know if it was it must have been your detachment for coming out on Friday to the Grand Point party, the annual baseball tournament that we have. There's a presence there. Actually, no, it was Saturday with the fire truck and the RCMP vehicles. And
Okay.
kids really got a kick out of that, and the community really appreciated the presence. So thanks. Thanks to you and your staff.
Very good. Thank you.
Nothing else? Perfect. Thank you so much, Staff Sergeant. I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Too.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 9.1, accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Lemoine.
So 2 batches, 36 and 40, one for $2,500 and one for $524.
Thank you. Council comments or questions? None. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.2, accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier.
Again, 2 batches, 39 and 41, 39 for just under $300,000 and 41 for $67,000. The batch summary was also uploaded for council's review. One question came from Councillor Bondarchuk just about one of the checks that we cut for the energy efficiency advisor. That's the individual that's going around doing the home evaluations. So we've got 100 in total that we're doing, and it's a cost share with Energy Efficiency Manitoba. One thing that wasn't identified in the batch summary, just because it's spread out across the batches, but most of the work is being done in Prawn Park on the trail. So it's about $25,000 worth of work in terms of gravel and dirt and other items there as well. So to finish that up.
Nice.
Perfect. Council comments, questions? No. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.3, council indemnities. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine.
Indemnities are there, pretty straightforward. Again, if there's any questions, please let me know.
Council comments, questions? Call for the question.
I gotta fix mine again.
Oh dear, geez Louise.
I threw some hours on for Red Point. I was
Oh.
working on both at the same time, and it's that gets billed directly to them, so I'll have that corrected on next month's.
Perfect. Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. We are on 12.1.1, 4165-26-8479, amend original resolution 20260118. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Lemoine.
So this is just to amend the original motion. The development fee amount was incorrectly calculated in the first one. So one of the conditions of the applicant is to pay capital development fees. So it's to amend the resolution to the fees in the amount of $29,770 required for the final approval of subdivision file 4165-268479.
Perfect. Council comments or questions? None. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. And going on to anything in camera, council? Nothing. Any other matters needed to be brought into the discussion, Mr. CEO?
Nope, not at this time.
No. Okay. Item 15, adjournment. Do I have a mover? Councilor Lemoine, second. Councillor Pelletier. Final thoughts before we adjourn the meeting? None. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. I will close the meeting at 9:19 a.m. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.